Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Colin Cowherd, players will better connect with young, cooler, athletic Justin Fields over Russell Wilson. Colin Cowherd is bringing the heat to start the week. With Russell Wilson sidelined the first 4 days of Pittsburgh Steelers training camp due to a calf strain, Justin Fields has gotten the team's first-team reps. Fields shining in moments, the buzz about who should be the team's starting quarterback has kicked back up. That's where Cowherd comes in with the view that the locker room will support Fields over Wilson. The reason? Fields is a better fit for the Steelers' culture. Pittsburgh's workplace under Mike Tomlin is alpha, Cowherd said on his The Herd show Monday. Loud, drama, physical. We don't think it is a brilliant schematic offensive. Kansas City, Rams, San Francisco. No. They blow stuff up. They knock you over, they punch you in the mouth. That's not Russell. Russell's focused, an adult. In general terms, those may be fair assessments. The Steelers certainly are working back to an identity of bully ball by investing in the offensive line and hiring a run-minded coordinator like Arthur Smith. Wilson has been something of a celebrity, married to Sierra, making the occasional movie cameo, and having pursuits outside the game. But there's nothing to suggest he can't fit in with the Steelers. He's shown leadership by organizing multiple off-season workouts with his new teammates and spending time with them off the field at Pirates and Penguins game. Still, Cowherd thinks Fields fits better. Justin Fields is young, cooler, athletic. 11 years younger, more athletic. And I think he's gonna connect with a lot of young teammates for the Steelers. Even if Fields understands the inside jokes and will hop on college football 25 with the guys, it doesn't make him the best option as the Steelers' starting quarterback. All players care about is having the best quarterback in the lineup and winning games. Wilson remains the team's best option with steadier and more consistent play. The Steelers don't need a buddy. They need a starting quarterback. While Fields has wowed in moments, his up-and-down performances have carried over from Chicago to Pittsburgh. Wilson is the starter until he's not, and that'll be determined by the quality of his and the team's performance, not their personality. How worried should the Steelers be about Russell Wilson? There will be a football game played this week, and those are the most beautiful words that have existed in quite some time. It may only be the preseason, but when you have been wandering in the desert for basically 6 months, a single Capri Sun feels like a 10-gallon tank. There is indeed plenty of proverbial water in the NFL content ocean though, as the preseason's debut means that training camps are in full force. Squads all around the NFL are off and running, which means we have plenty to get to. Welcome to the latest edition of the Skinny Post, where we are starting with whatever the hell is going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers and their quarterback situation. Given that this is the time of year where every team has all sorts of stuff going on, there is a tendency to get trapped in the bubble of your own team and only surface for air with regards to the other 31. When you do this, you are prone to the occasional headline or two catching you off guard. This happened to me over the weekend when I saw that Russell Wilson went through mental reps during Steelers practice due to having a calf strain. Our friends at Behind the Steel Curtain thankfully had the full story for me to catch up with. Sunday marks the team's 4th training camp practice, and Wilson has yet to do any team work following a calf injury suffered on Wednesday. HC Mike Tomlin noted on Thursday that Wilson is considered day-to-day with the injury. In his absence, new quarterback acquisition Justin Fields has been getting first-team reps, with plenty of highlight throws in the mix, though his results in the 7 shots drill have left something to be desired. I'm not going to act like 2024 Russell Wilson is some unquestioned starter and that the Steelers paid some massive price to get him, but this feels a little funny, no? Or it at least feels like the door of opportunity for Justin Fields may be wider than originally thought. Again, we are extremely early into training camp, but that Russell has yet to do any team work at all is curious indeed. Imagine this said in Mr. Ollivander's voice, please. After the Steelers sat through the Kenny Pickett era for a bit too long, I was glad to see them take a smart approach with the position by trying to fix their issue Moneyball style. They brought in a successful veteran past his prime and a young gun with loads of untapped potential in hopes that, combined, they can form a very competent quarterback. The early reviews of Fields in camp have been good. There have been some highlights posted to social media in regards to a few pretty deep balls that he's completed thus far, but we all know that it hasn't been practices that have kept Fields from being the star many thought he'd be by now. It's been his performances in games to date. So while it may not look too good for Wilson to be sidelined this long to begin camp, I don't think he's all of a sudden losing a ton of ground to Fields in the meantime. Something about Tomlin tells me he's likely going with the veteran in Wilson to begin the year, barring a catastrophic meltdown of some sort. Now if it's another week of mental reps for Wilson after the writing of this, then I'd start to wonder a bit more about what's going on and whether or not things are going anywhere near according to plan. Steelers convinced trading for DK Metcalf might still be an option. There are likely audible groans from Seattle Seahawks fans. Not another DK Metcalf trade article, right? Number 12 wants Metcalf to leave Seattle, one assumes. Well, maybe some do, but the fact is that the team would be worse off should the receiver be moved. One team that doesn't seem to want to leave Metcalf alone is the Pittsburgh Steelers. There have been rumors seemingly ever since Pittsburgh picked up former Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson that Metcalf could wind up in Pittsburgh. It is a logical thought, sure, but not one appears to be based in reality. Or maybe it is. According to Chris Halleck of the ironically named DK Pittsburgh Sports, the Steelers are convinced they have a good shot of landing either Metcalf, Brandon Ayuk, or Tyreek Hill. Halleck mentions a team source spoke of how confident the Steelers are in adding one of the receivers. Not to doubt Halleck, but it does seem odd a team source would tell his website that and not, say, ESPN's Adam Schefter, but I digress. The issue is acquiring any of the receivers is what Pittsburgh would have to give up. The Steelers have one first-round pick in 2025 and one first-rounder in 2026, and the Seahawks would most likely want one of those choices along with a player or another relatively high draft pick. Otherwise, move Metcalf at all? The receiver is signed through 2025 and he is going to get paid a high price as a free agent in 2026. Hopefully, Seattle can extend him before he hits free agency in much the same way the team extended Julian Love in training camp before Love hits free agency next year. A contract that averages $30 million a season is not out of the question. Metcalf is still only 26 years old. Seattle might have cap issues next offseason, but Metcalf is not a concern there as he is already signed. In 2026, a lot of cap room opens up for the Seahawks, so having Metcalf sign his third contract with the team is definitely financially achievable. There is little doubt that Metcalf is WR1 for Seattle currently as he led the team in receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and average yards per catch in 2023. He could be even better under new offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. Moving on from Metcalf makes little sense right now. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of DK Metcalf? Leave your opinion in the comments.